So let's do another example. Here, if I give you a graph that looks like this, we're gonna follow the same exact guidelines. So here are my rules here. So let's first find my D. So if I look, my midline is gonna be at -2. So I'm gonna draw that midline, and then I know that that's a vertical shift down of 2 units. So next, my amplitude, so that's from my minimum to my midline or my maximum to my midline. So that's gonna be 3 units, so my amplitude is 3. My period, you can choose anything here as long as it's a full cycle. So here I want my 2 maximum points. So I said 9 pi over 4 minus 5 pi over 4, giving you 4 pi over 4, which is equal to pi. You could choose 2 minimums, find your period, 2 intercepts, but just make sure it's a full cycle here. So after that, my period is equal to 2 pi over b. So my period is pi, so I say pi equals 2 pi over b. I want to solve this for b, multiply both sides by b. So I get b times pi equals 2 pi, divide both sides by pi, so I get b is equal to 2. So that will always be the same for whichever cycle you choose to find your period. So let's first create a negative sign graph. So negative sign, I know, let's find an intercept. So we can choose pi over 2. My graph crosses the intercept at pi over 2. So next I have a minimum. So I know that this must be negative sign. So I have -3 sine of 2, because that's your b value, times x minus pi over 2. Pi over 2 is your phase shift here, minus your vertical shift, which is -2. Let's find a positive sign. So positive sign is equal to intercept, maximum, intercept, minimum, intercept. So I can choose, let's look at pi. Pi, I start with an intercept. After that, I go to a maximum, then another intercept. So same thing, I just have y equals 3 sine of 2 times x minus pi minus 2. We can also create a cosine graph. So cosine, let's look at positive, is maximum, intercept, minimum, intercept, maximum. So if we look at 5 pi over 4 here, this starts with a maximum, then goes to an intercept. So I can say y equals 3 cosine of 2 times x minus 5 pi over 4 minus 2. Same thing, choose, let's create a negative cosine graph. So find a minimum that it starts with. So we can choose 7 pi over 4 here. So y is equal to negative, because that's my negative cosine, 3 cosine of 2 times x minus 7 pi over 4 minus 2.